Hello and welcome to the first video proper of the Triumph Modern Bonneville Hinckley Hardtail Bobber project, whatever I decide to call it. We're here now, and this is kind of what I consider to be the first proper video about it. I've kind of alluded to bits and bobs in the past, but this is completely dedicated and we hopefully see a bit of progress going on now. So a little bit of background in case you don't really watch this channel, and this is the kind of the first bit of it. The donor bike is my 2010 fuel injected EFI mag wheel Bonneville, which I've had for quite a while, and it's kind of evolved a lot over the years. I've done a fair few bits and bobs to it, invested a bit of time and effort and money into it, and kind of that's one of the reasons why I've decided to go with that bike as the basis of the project. Long story short, I did get another Bonneville, a carb model one, which I've since swapped with my wife, and I've got in America, but basically the EFI, although it's a bit more of a pain in the backside to kind of do stuff with, potentially. It's the one that's kind of got, it's the lower mileage, it's the nicest kind of condition one I've got. I've invested some time and money into it, so it kind of makes sense for me to have a nice rock solid donor bike to move it on to this next stage, to finish up with this bike, you know. All my other bikes have been a little bit kind of, I've upcycled and made do amended. I'm still going to have a lot of that mentality and ethic into this build, because I haven't got hardly any money anyway, so it's going to have to be, but I'm just going to try and raise my bar a little bit higher and try and do some nice stuff, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting journey, that's for sure. But yeah, just in case you're interested, I've got a little bit of a slideshow that I think I'll probably put in now of the bike from literally the day that I got it, bone stock, up to how it was, and then where we go from there. It kind of was pretty much, I was really happy with it, especially looking back at the pictures. I got it to a really nice point, and I did like it. When I had the on the Bonneville though, that was going very much a similar way stylistically. I didn't want to end up with two bikes that were the same, so it made sense to kind of have the best bike of the two, not my daily beater hack, to be a hardtail, and be the one that I'll take a bit of time over. Anyway, enough of that waffling. Here's a little slideshow of the bike and where we're up to now, and then we'll get to the bit that you really want to see, is the frame, which I've had back in my possession now for about a week, so enjoy.
So the day that I picked it up from Laguna Motorcycles, bone stock mag wheel Bonneville with all extra frills, bells and whistles. First round of changes, obviously get rid of the rear mudguard, Thruxton seat, a seat cowl. I was definitely heading down a sort of cafe-ish route on this. What we've done there, different bars, probably LSL headlights. We've gone for the Norman Hyde toga pipes there, probably some airbox mods and air injection changes at that point, just to make it sound better. Oh, and here we go. This is where you can start seeing probably one of the favouriteest changes I did, which was get the wheels built up by Doug at the Devon Wheel Company. This had been on the card since I got the bike, and it transforms it for me, looks wise and handling wise. Same style, gone for clip-ons now, and a very trendy brown seat on there. And there we go, tastefully done in sepia there, very artistic. But then I think I started experimenting with a bit more of a upright riding position. Still got the rear sets on, but flat bars, and the brown seat, which was just horrible and big looking there. So cut down my own. That's a stock seat that I trimmed and recovered, or had recovered, and then British Customs Predators are on there. And I've obviously reverted to the flat clip-ons and lowered the clocks. Then I've tried with the flat bars again, probably the LSL Street Bar lows, I think, which I've still got. Out of all the bar changes, they stayed the longest. Predators were switched for the Tech 2-in-1 tracker exhaust, and there we go. That's a bit more of a close-up. Different shocks, YSS shocks, the cut-down America sprocket cover. Lovely eBay find tank. I still really like that. That's going to be staying on the hardtail project for now. This was kind of where I got it to its final. I was really happy with it at this stage, actually. I think the only thing I did after this was remove the airbox completely, but liked my little brake light, mini speedo was on there now because the other one was too big. Direct mount reservoir, front brake reservoir, just to clean things up on the bars. Chop down front mud guard, side mount. Yeah, it was pretty much. I was kind of really happy with it, which really begs the question: why did I decide to do what I do next? But yeah, just a natural evolution, and I can't really stop tinkering. So beautiful there, and bang, no going back. There's the subframe on my floor, chopped off. A little bit of a view of the pipe tubing that Joe was using on the hardtail section, and there it is on the jig, or straight off the jig, the actual hardtail section, which brings us back to this moment in the shed.
So right, that's where I got the bike up to. We're now at this point. The last couple of pictures were a couple of teasers towards this, towards how the frame is now, and I better just shut up and show you. So just give a shout out to the frame, because I lack the skills and the equipment to do a decent job of hardtailing it. Goes out to a big shout out to Joe at Fenland Choppers who helped with this. It was a bit of a, I wouldn't say problematic, but a slightly more unconventional approach to what we were going to do, because I've obviously used the stock frame and modified that into a hardtail. Normally Joe's done ones where it's been a whole frame. That of course allows you to kind of really get the flow you're going for and not be restricted by the geometry of the existing frame, which we are to an extent, but there are reasons. I've had to pros and cons to go back and forth as to why we're doing it this way, and I'll explain those when we're looking at the bike, or the frame at least. So yeah, I better shut up and show you the frame. And there we go, there is the frame, the very beginnings of the project. So really excited. I'm really happy with it. I really love it. It's just, yeah, it's really got me fired up, ready for this project. I'll walk you around it, show you some of the bits sort of more close up. Some of the things I've gone for. Slightly different bracket just here because I want to retain my up and over caliper, so the rear caliper is going to be up here rather than underslung. So that's just a different kind of little tweak that I wanted to do. We've got here the dummy oil tank that's going to house all the electrics. Yeah, let's take you in a bit closer and you can have a little look, see how it's done. So there we go. So I've got I've got a bung in ready for the tank mounting. So the tank will have to be modified. That's actually, while we're talking about that, we'll go into as to why I've used the stock frame and just modified it. One of the things I wanted to do was keep the Bonneville tank. I wanted to have this bike to have the Bonneville tank. I like the Bonneville tank. I think the engine shape and that shape of that tank are quite, you know, they're part of the appeal for me. I think I really like the look, so obviously I want to keep that in this build rather than go for your standard peanut tank or something like that. I want to go for that. The other reason I want to keep the tank, and this is a secondary reason but also kind of works out well, this being fuel injected means I've got the fuel pump that's housed inside the tank. It's a pretty big beast. I've got a fuel filter video earlier on if you want to see what it looks like, but just imagine trying to find somewhere to hide that on here if I was using a smaller or different tank. Just a massive ball ache. So second reason why I want to keep it, that's already up there. That's, you know, I've got all the mounting points, everything sits and works here, and the fuel pump is hidden. So basically that just makes my life a bit easier in that respect. I wanted to keep the midsects, so that's involved a little bit of jiggery pokery with the footrest mountings. What else can we point out? I wanted to, I mean, overall it's exactly the same wheelbase as the standard Bonneville as well. So I found some of them looked a little bit too stretched out and spindly at the back. So this is pretty much bang on the same wheelbase as the Magwheel Bonnie, just with some sort of beefier pipe work on here, just to kind of tie it in with the same sort of thickness here, just to give it an all over even look. As I said, yeah, got the mounting for the up and over bracket, chain adjusters. This is where the battery is going to sit. At the moment we've just got some bolts. This bottom section is bolted in. I might weld a seam around there just to stop any possibility of water ingress or anything like that, just to make it nice and solid, but probably keep the bolts in, although I imagine I'll change them for socket heads just to make it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Spring seat obviously going to go here, so I've still got a lot to work out where the seat's going to go and how that's going to work in with the tank. I'm going to have to, I'll show you when I get the tank on a bit later where we're going to have to modify that. Yeah, there's a lot in work to a lot of stuff to work out on this, but I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. But I think the first thing I want to do is obviously get the wheels and the wheels forks on. I want to get it how it's going to stand, so I'm going to pretty much get the back wheel on, and what I want to do is keep this line parallel then, so that's going to dictate fork length. So at the moment I'll just be sliding them through the yokes to get the level right, but that'll give us some sort of idea as well how the bike's going to stand. So yeah, I'll go and get some of the bits and start throwing it together. Cool beans, so that's how it's standing. Got the wheels, forks, bars and foot pegs on. I've dropped the forks down just about an inch through the yokes, and that seems to bring it at quite a nice level stance. So let's just try it for a fit. Got me block of wood, old bit foam. Yeah, I can't believe how ecstatic I am about the stance on that. That's just getting me excited looking at it at this point already. Loving it. Just a nice squat bar hoppery, bobbery little beast. And there we go, figure rider. Look with the tank on as well. So you can see I'm going to have to do something with the mounting point here. Yep, I am so happy with this. There we go, first video as starts the project. Nice to sort of see it kind of in a rolling kind of state, you know. It's I'm really happy with the way it's looking. It's better than I expected. Yeah, really chuffed. I haven't done much really more to it. I've just thrown on the rear brake caliper just to see how that's going to route. When I've got the option, I could still undersling it using this standard hanger, but I like the idea of it having a bit different. Gonna have to work out where my mudguard struts are going to come off though, because obviously that fouls it, but we can work all this sort of stuff out. I wanted to see, I mean it's obviously not finished, but work out the cable, because we've got a different mounting point here for the rear brake and the switch and the reservoir. I've taken the big plastic reservoir off. I think we'll have to go for something a bit streamlined, whether it does end up being like a little bit of tubing, you know, sort of race styly. But what else did I try out? Just messing around with the old battery tray I've had knocking around since the SR 250 days. Don't know if I'll go with that battery. That tray fits the battery for like the America and Speedmaster, the more boxy one, but whether I go for something completely different, I'm not sure yet. Slung on the old side stand there. So yeah, slung on the side stand, and that actually I was a bit concerned. Not concerned really, but I was expecting to have to do something different with the side stand, whether I shorten it, but that actually works out perfectly for keeping the bike upright when I'm not on it. Obviously I have to work out some sort of rubber bung to stop it twatting on the back there, but I might cut down this bit here. Oh, I don't know, it's all still very early days, but this is the exciting bit of just having a bit of it. Well, got to do the dry build just to work out where stuff's going to go. So that's the end of the first video. Not a huge amount of stuff going on. Well, I don't know, maybe it's nice to see it actually kind of the bare bones, the skeletal structure of what it's going to look like. So it's definitely got me juices flowing. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's going to be, I've got to work out kind of what my plan of action is. Obviously just a general dry build. I imagine I'm going to have to strip down the loom. I might go with sort of redoing the whole loom and getting one of the like the M gadget things and getting rid of the fuse boxes. I don't know yet. There's an awful lot to consider. So bear with me. Yeah, got a lot of things to try and work out, but I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.